Welcome back, everybody, to America on the Road with Chris Teague. This is Jack Nerad back with you, and we're so glad you're with us. We do appreciate it. We're so glad Chris is back with us after a week not being with us, under the weather, but now back somewhat above the weather, but maybe not 100%. But we have kind of an electrifying couple of vehicles to talk about here. You were driving a Jeep Wrangler 4xe. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure the 4xe is as electrifyingly exciting as the Lucid sedan that you drove, but this is definitely a nicer one of the Wranglers for me. I think I like this one the best out of the group. But this is the 2025 Jeep Wrangler 4xe. This is their plug-in hybrid variant. I tested the Willys trim, which is kind of a mid-range throwback to the early days of Jeep as it was a military vehicle. You can get into the regular Wrangler, Jack, for around $34,000. To get into the 4xe, though, you have to spend $51,000 at a minimum. My Willys was just under $65,000 with some options. So before I go too far, what do you think of the 4xe, the new Wrangler in general, and the price?
I mean, I love the 4xe concept. I love plug-in hybrids. I think auto journalists like plug-in hybrids almost as much as they like station wagons, right? And the general market doesn't care for them all that much, although I think the 4xe is the best-selling plug-in hybrid out there of all of them. There's a lot to like about it from a driving standpoint. I think there have been some issues quality-wise.
Yeah, they've definitely seen some recalls and some issues, but getting into the performance here, you get a turbocharged 2.0-liter four-cylinder engine, you get 2 electric motors and a 17 kilowatt-hour battery. That produces 375 combined horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. So, Jack, you get a beefy amount of torque out of these electric motors, which, as you know, for off-roading is excellent because you need that low-speed torque to get up and over rocks and obstacles, which I did not do during my week with the vehicle, but knowing that I could was very confidence inspiring. 4-wheel drive comes standard and you get an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, since this is a plug-in hybrid and not a regular standard hybrid, you get 22 miles of electric range. I was able to get about 17 out of this vehicle, Jack, and that's just in-town driving. So, excuse me, I think it may be a little bit different if you were driving maybe slower speeds than I was. I'm not really sure, but I think that may be a little generous. What I'll say here about the driving experience, Jack, is that it feels very quick, it feels very torquey. 470 pound-feet is nothing to sneeze at. My issue with this powertrain, and I want to get your opinion on this, is that it feels like there's too much going on underneath it. So when you're in the electric drivetrain mode and you switch to gas and back and forth, there's some clunkiness, some noise, and some jerkiness too. Did you ever experience that driving this vehicle?
I think I have, and that's one of the issues that I think a lot of plug-in hybrids seem to have, and it's less seamless. Maybe that's the nicest way to put it. Than it, I think we'd like it to be. It's just, as you say, there's a bit of clunkiness to it, depending on where you are in the throttle and all of that.
Yeah, you definitely are aware that there's something going on between the gas and electric powertrain components there, but nothing that's nothing that you can't live with, nothing that is so disruptive that it totally ruins the driving experience. And I will say that Jeep, when it redesigned the Wrangler in 2024, the new ride quality of the new Jeep is much better than the last one. You're still not looking at the most well-behaved on-road driving experience possible, but it's much better than it was. Inside, the Willys comes with cloth upholstery. You can get leather and some other finishes inside depending on the trim. You get heated seats, a heated steering wheel. Those are optional features with this. It's part of the reason why the price is a little bit higher than some other configurations. You also get a heated steering wheel, as I said. Everything is leather wrapped, so the gear shifter, lever, the dash, and the steering wheel. So you get a nicer feeling interior here than if you just had cloth, but this is still a pretty basic experience inside. So you can get it dirty and hose it out and things. So not really going to be an interior that you have to baby. All Wranglers now come with a 12.3-inch touchscreen. It runs Uconnect infotainment, which is fantastic. We've talked about that several times in the past, Jack. It has plenty of features. It's very responsive. It's easy to use. And you get the off-road pages here, so you get, vehicle yaw, positioning controls, and things like that. You also get an 8-inch digital gauge cluster, wireless smartphone mirroring, and a full suite of advanced safety features here, so you get blind spot monitoring, rear cross-traffic alerts, forward collision warnings. Jack, I think the price here is out of my range. I think that if I was looking at a Wrangler, I would look at one of the cheaper ones that I could bash on in the woods and not really feel like I was going to lose an expensive toy at that point. But I think if you can pay for it, the all-electric range and the added torque is definitely a great benefit to have here.
Yeah, I think it's cool too. Again, it's at what price, right? I think you identify the big issue there, and I'm not sure the price is going to entice a lot of people, but I think a lot of people who go off road also like the idea of some electric environmental driving. So why not try that? So
I will say, or I should say, that you do have eligibility for up to $7,500 of the federal tax credits here, but again, that could change.
Yes, yeah, we don't know what the future will bring.